onto stories of those who survived it. She photographed many for the Simon Wiesenthal Center Museum of Tolerance in Los Angeles. As a former news photographer, her work has taken her to the edge of war zones. This 1988 photo of women and children refugees in Pakistan was one of the first of a series suggested by a colleague.
She said, you know, there's a story that nobody cares about, and this was towards the end of the 10-year war between the Soviet Union and Afghanistan, and she said, you know, there's 100,000 Afghan war widows, and nobody cares. And I thought, well, I care.
Her journey would lead to a Kosovo refugee camp in Albania and to Japan to meet survivors of the Hiroshima atomic bombing. In Northern Ireland, she photographed a former bomber turned peace activist and a woman who lost her husband to the sectarian violence, who offered Roth an insight.
She said, I bet you find that women are the same everywhere. And so I learned a lot from my subjects because I thought, wow, she's really right. And I think really the constants are the absolute fundamentals of life. You know, it's keeping home and hearth and keeping children healthy and safe and fed. It's keeping families together.
From the Balkans to Pakistan and Southeast Asia, she has shown the scars of war, including victims and survivors of the Khmer Rouge brutality in Cambodia, and children in Vietnam born with birth defects caused by the defoliant Agent Orange. Roth also shows the grief of American mothers who lost sons in Iraq. She says that amid the sadness, the character of the survivors has impressed her.
That the human spirit is pretty remarkable and very resilient and beautiful, and that in spite of war and madness and destruction, you know, that people get on with their lives.
Roth's most recent work has again taken her halfway around the world, this time to document an endangered culture. She is publishing a book of photographs of Tibet, highlighting its Buddhist religion, its art, and people. Her exhibit, One Person Crying, Women and War, is now on display in Oradour-sur-Glane, France, the site of a massacre by German troops during World War II. The exhibit will open in June at a Veterans Memorial Park in the U.S. state of Wisconsin. Mike O'Sullivan, VOA News, Los Angeles.
Well, it's been an exciting week in sports. VOA's Sunny Young joins us now with a profile of Ghana's World Cup-bound Black Stars national football team. Hello, Sunny.
Hello, Vincent, and sporty greetings once again to our Africa 54 viewers. The Black Stars are getting ready for their third consecutive World Cup appearance. Ghana has been drawn into a very difficult first-round group in Brazil, along with Germany, Portugal, and the USA. Head coach James Kwesi Appiah is confident about his team's preparations.
When it comes to such competitions, the most important thing is how you prepare, before the competition. And we started preparing immediately after the World Cup draw. And at the moment, all the off-field preparations has been done. We're starting our training today, and hopefully by the time we get to Brazil, we'll be in top shape.
Support for the Black Stars is building momentum, and Ghanaian fans have high hopes for the team in Brazil. Prince Anang, a Ghanaian sports journalist, watched the team train in Accra. He says the Black Stars have matured since the last World Cup in South Africa.
The team has grown from what we saw in 2010. I mean, 4 years on, we've got a couple of new faces in the team now that is blending and gelling with the old players. Again, the expectations of especially Ghanaians will be that the Black Stars should go beyond the quarter-final stage that they got to in 2010.
The Black Stars of Ghana will go against the USA in their opening World Cup match June 16th in Natal, Brazil. Then they'll play Germany June 21st in Fortaleza, Brazil, before wrapping up group play against Portugal June 26th in Brasilia. Meanwhile, betting and gambling on the World Cup and other sports events is a massive enterprise. A new report on the impact of sports gambling notes how criminal elements are well entrenched, and they're using sports to launder money and carry out other illicit activities. VOA's Jeffrey Young has details.
Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. On June 12th, the event football fans everywhere have spent 4 years waiting for begins. It's the 2014 World Cup. Teams will battle their way from then until the championship match on July 13th. Fans are not just cheering on their favorite teams. Many are also eager to wager on the matches. And not only the World Cup, there is a global betting frenzy covering football, cricket, tennis, motorsports, competitions of every kind. A just-released report from the International Center for Sport Security in Qatar and the Sorbonne in Paris quantifies the global gambling action. Via Skype, ICSS Director of Sport Integrity, Chris Eaton.
Taking the illegal market, the under-regulated or grey market, and the totally legal market together, it's really close to $1 trillion annually gambled on sport today.
Analysts say that $1 billion was bet worldwide on a single game in 2010, the World Cup title match. This new report says that sports betting is used worldwide by organized crime syndicates to launder some U.S. $140 billion a year, and that the Internet now handles 30% of all the action. The ICSS Sorbonne report says that Asia accounts for 53% of the world's illegal gambling, and it turns out that illicit bookmakers and legal betting houses are linked together, says University of Salford, Birmingham gambling analyst David Forrest via Skype.
Those small guys tend to take the stake and quickly pass it on up a chain so they don't handle the risk themselves. And at the top of this chain lie legal bookmakers who are registered in the Philippines, the 5 biggest bookmakers in the world.
Illegal gambling has taken on some of the risk management practices of Wall Street, where hedge fund traders may take positions both for and against a particular stock or security to help ensure that they win regardless of the outcome. Via Skype, University of South Florida gambling analyst Richard Borghese.
Illegal bookmakers will collect their bets, and if they end up with a naked position on one side or the other, they will lay off their risk by betting on the opposite teams in the legalized gambling market.
The ICSS Sorbonne study says the sports gambling industry needs to develop international reporting and accountability systems, much like those that have been established in recent decades in the global financial markets. Again, the ICSS Chris Eaton.
We need the same sort of cooperative model operating in the gambling side and the bookmaking side of international sport, so that we can see exactly who is transacting what and how, so you can pick the anomalies.
In sports, there are always winners and there are losers. Regardless of the outcome of the game, there was always money, big money, going into someone's pocket. Jeffrey Young, VOA News.
Thanks, Jeffrey. I'm Sonny Young, and that's the sunny side of sports. Vincent?
And thank you very much, Sonny. And that's all we have today. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Gisti mommi otiko ko inyane suma don yow mi leya daga ci man